Hi everyone. I just want to come on for a minute. Um, Yesterday I was very upset. When I saw my daughter, I immediately know her expressions. Um, she has this dissatisfied, uh, sad, hurt look on her face when she gets in the car because for some reason she does deal with bullies. People like to pick at my daughter. My daughter is 12, but my daughter has a very, I would say, a strong look about her. She's not what I would call fat, but she's thicker. She's tall for her age, and she is absolutely gorgeous to me. And I tell her that every day that it's not all about how the outside looks, but it's also about the inside. My daughter has a very sweet nature. Um, Most people that meet her, they fall in love with her. She has a sweet smile. She has a very helpful manner to her, wants to help others. She loves children. She has almost like an old soul to her. So when I see my daughter looking anything less than happy, it all it triggers this inner child within me of how I had to deal with bullies when I was coming up because I was heavier. Um, People picked at me about my size. I've never been a small girl, but for some reason people thought that was funny. Fat this, fat that. I've heard it all. And so now when I see my daughter going through those things, it draws these emotions up inside of me because I know how she feels. I know how probably most children feel that's being bullied because I was often picked at about my looks. So I understand. Um, and at school, you have to put up this tough facade and just to try to get through the day. But when you get in the car and when you get into a safe place, when you're at home with your mama, all of those feelings just flow out of you like a fountain of water. Sadness, disappointment, anger, all of these feelings come out of you. You done bottled it in all day just to get through the day. And people just don't realize, young people, children don't really realize the impact of mean words toward another child. There are so many children battling depression because of mean words and being picked at. And that's why I stay on my children cases to make sure that you are not messing with anybody at that school. Make sure you don't say anything you don't have any business to anybody. Do not taunt anyone. Do not harass anyone. These are words and teachings that I constantly go through with my children every day to make sure that they're not victimizing other kids. I mean, we call it bullying, but it's harassment. You are victimizing another child when you're picking at that child. You don't know what they're going through at home. You don't know how strong that child's mind is. And when you're saying ugly stuff to them, you don't know how that's affecting their heart. Um, I remember going through school and it got to the point where I would literally feel sick and didn't even want to get up out the bed to go to school. Went to the doctor. The doctor basically said it was a school phobia. I was afraid to go to school and it was making me sick physically. So, people, I did get in my feelings yesterday because that is my daughter. That's my baby. That's my twin. I mean, we are so much alike, in so many ways. And when I look at my daughter, I see myself. And of course, I want to protect myself, so I want to protect my child. Because when I look at her, I see me, and I understand what Sky is going through. And I'm going to always be the parent to try to help my child get through life. I want her to be successful, but I want her to be healthy in her mind, and I don't want anyone else to distract her from her passions that she wants to, what she wants to do in life. I don't want anyone to pick at her about anything concerning what God gave her, how God made her. God made my daughter, your child, or whatever child that's out there, made them the way that He wanted them to be made. And no one has the right to pick at you because of how you're made, how you look. You are precious in the eyes of God. And there's a lot of adults dealing with bullies too. A lot of you adults out there teaching your children how to pick at others because you act the fool at home. But one thing about Shay, I'm very peaceful. I'm very peaceful. If you know me, you know I don't bother a soul. But when you come for my children, and when you come at me crazy, oh my God. Everybody got another side, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Everybody got another side. But when you come at my children, oh my God. You are really, really, really playing with fire for real. And I want my children to be respectful of other people, but it's also respect goes both ways. If my daughter has told your child to leave her alone, your child should be trained enough to leave my child alone. She has repeatedly told this person, leave me alone, leave me alone. And they keep on picking at her. Not only pick at her, but go and recruit other class members, other friends, so that once you say ugly things to her, you get them to laughing at her. And that is nothing but the devil. But the Lord rebuked the devil in the name of Jesus. My child, your child, should not have to go through that. And if it's anything that I could do as a support system to help other kids, because I do not want to see any child take their life because of bullies. And like I said, I have been through it. I have been through what these children are going through. I understand firsthand how it feels, to the point that my mother had to seek me medical attention because I was getting picked at so bad. And some of these people that have grown up out of that mess now, yeah. Some of them have grown up. Thank God that you have grown up. But maybe you have passed on the torch to your child. And, you know, there is a such thing as generational curses. So you need to pray that off your child and make sure they aren't harassing other kids. That's all I'm saying. And make sure you're not demonstrating bad behavior in front of them. Showing out and picking at other grown people in front of them. Teaching your child how to act the fool. You know, and that's all I'm here to say. And yeah, being bullied can get to the point that you don't want to be here anymore. It can make you not want to be here. Some people are not strong enough to deal with that. Thank God for keeping me. But I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm so thankful I had the mother that I had. My mom, Janet Mae Money, went to bat for me against these bullies that would not leave me alone in school. Some of the bullies are successful and some of them are not. And some of them, like my dad said, trouble. When you have a person that keep up trouble, that's not good for anything but jail or hell. And I'm just going to leave it at that. It's time out for these kids to stop displaying these bullying attitudes at school. Leave other children alone. And if you know that your child is bullying another child, it is not funny. The stuff that they go to school and do and say is not funny. You got a lot of parents sit up there and laugh at what their child is doing. It ain't funny, it's ignorance. And you displaying ignorance in front of them by sitting up there laughing. So a lot of you parents need to grow up for real. But I'm just going to say this. Don't get mad at the parents when they go report your child for picking. Don't get mad with them. Because you should know better by now. If you're old enough to have a child and you're old enough to teach them better. And if you at home acting a fool in front of them, then they're going to act a fool because that's what you displaying in front of them. So all I'm saying is don't get mad when the parent go and report them. Okay? And especially don't come for me. Because I know how to deal with grown bullies too. Okay? I've been on the battlefield a long time. I know how to deal with grown bullies. And I'm going to leave it at that. Peace.